All right, my last couple of videos, I was off on a rant, and I really don't want to just rant about the things. I want to actually bring some kind of facts to the table. And of course, we know that the news outlet has been compromised to some degree, especially anything that realistically comes from Trump and his fucking lackeys. Okay, let's get that straight. But so for me to not go on a rant, I broke out my old notebook. I took some notes, and these are like 5 things that I want to talk about. Okay. So there was a restaurant just 2 days ago that was found out that they were getting funds from New York City, and the funds were supposed to be allocated to black-owned shops. Okay, unfortunately, it just pretty much went to one black-owned shop, and it was a restaurant in New York, in Brooklyn, and just this year alone, they spent 740K there, the New York City Council. Okay, for catering and whatnot. Also, the owner of said restaurant is very heavy into politics, and is also on the board for small businesses. So there's one. Okay. Two, the SNAP fraud, where we found out that one of the people that was helping perpetuate the SNAP fraud came out to $66 million stolen. She actually worked in the fraud division of SNAP. Okay. All right. So now the third one was actually something that I just found out today. So there was an adult daycare scheme. It happened back in October 9th of 2024. But even though it happened then, it still affects the numbers for why this guy put the big beautiful bill in. Okay, because these are all numbers missing. All right. Even though that happened back in October, it's still relevant today. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, that was $68 million stolen from there. Then there was a California charter school. It was reported on June 24th of this year, and they had taken $180 million. Now, here's what they did. They pretty much made it look like they were having English as a second language classes and had attendees, and none of it existed. They were literally just handing each other money, going on vacations, whatever the case may be. Now, they've also been charged, but one resigned and the rest were requested for removal. So the whole director of that board is gone. All right. And then 5 was the Medicaid fraud for $14.6 billion stolen. And that was reported June 9th of this year. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I bringing up old news when there's so much else going on? That's exactly why I'm bringing it up. There's so much else going on that nobody is focusing on these stories, at least a little bit. And I'm not saying like, make it like the top head news, like the Epstein files definitely deserve to be there, the tariffs definitely deserve to be there. But these are people that are in power, in positions that have affected the welfare community. And meanwhile, a lot of right-wing people are still blaming the poor for the misuse of these fucking funds. Why are you not attacking these people? That's the point that I'm trying to get to. Like, why are you not attacking these people that stole millions through fraud, through the same system? Now, don't get me wrong. Are there people that get 3 to 4K a month on fucking food stamps? Yes. Do they suck? Yes. Okay, I'll be first to say that. Anytime that you try to sit there and fuck over the system, or even just fuck over taxpayer money, you suck, and that's on both sides. That's on both sides. I don't care if you're behind the desk or behind on your rent. All right, but just like there's good people in certain parts of government and certain parts of the chain of command, there's also good poor people. So not everyone that is poor is just a useless person trying to milk the fucking system. Because if that's the case, then there's people higher up, which we already know, that are also milking the system just to have a luxury life off of people's misery. People that need these funds, especially like English as a second language. You want to know why so many people can't like speak fucking English in California? There's your answer. They were supposed to have classes. They were supposed to sign up. They never did. Why? Because they probably got told that they didn't have the funds to sit there and have the classes because they already had classes going. All right? So, like I said, not really a rant. I wanted to share some of the news stories that I saw that have not been talked about. The next thing I'm going to probably talk about is more of a nursing home crisis, because there's a lot more shutting down, and that's going to be another piece, and the same thing with tariffs. But if you made it this far, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening for an old man rant. You got any comments or anything, just put them down there. I don't care if they're good or bad. Like, I'll respond to both. Like, I'm an 84 baby, so I got thick skin, besides having thick skin. All right? Catch you later.